The following presentation summarizes Aquaculture Development Area Conflict of Interest Allegation number 12 of 16. Evidence suggests a perceived conflict exists, indicating the CAO, councillors, and other municipal staff may have business interests with aquaculture ventures, resulting in undisclosed pecuniary interests. The public is already aware that staff and contractors were rewarded with appointments to provincial boards and committees for facilitating preferred aquaculture site locations for industry. However, unredacted email correspondence with industry discussing returns on investment must be reviewed to determine whether a real conflict of interest exists. Let's take a look at the evidence. Evidence shows there were discussions between Nolan Dion and the CAO of the municipality of the District of Argyll regarding returns on investment. This is only a perceived conflict of interest. However, financial interests and discussions can consciously or unconsciously influence decisions such as approving permits, setting policy, choosing aquaculture sites, granting exemptions, or delaying enforcement. Importantly, the appearance of bias alone is enough to undermine trust. An actual payoff does not need to be proven. Significant redactions suggest there is something to hide and raises many additional questions. As examples, why would Nolan Dion share a return on investment with the municipality? Perhaps unless investors resided within the municipality. Who has invested? What is the return on investment? Whose name is redacted? Is it a current or former municipal employee or councillor? Does this indicate that MOTA employees or councillors were looking to invest in Dion's oysters? Or was Nolan Dion seeking investors from the municipality to facilitate the outcome he desired? Why does the CAO forward the return on investment 2 years later to Charlene LeBlanc? Is it for Charlene LeBlanc, the municipal contractor, or Charlene LeBlanc seeded lines, or Charlene LeBlanc, board member of the Aquaculture Association of Nova Scotia? Is it commonplace for MOTA to find potential investors for independent businesses? If so, did the CAO make the same connections for all potential aquaculture farmers, or Dion's only? If Dion's only, then this shows preferential treatment and bias. Or is this information being used to secure funding from government? To date, Dion's has secured over $514,000 in funding allocations for their business. Is the municipality showing bias? Are they helping other farmers in the same manner? There are simply so many questions and so many redactions of information that the municipality does not want the public to see. The following email is between the CAO, the former warden Danny Muse, Charlene LeBlanc, and Knowlton and Colton Dion. What could be so sensitive on the topic of a scouting and stakeholder meeting that the public cannot know? Again, why is this information being hidden from the public? Are these comments that discourage inviting residents or the general public as potential stakeholders of ADA? Perhaps it was a discussion on investors and return on investment for investing in aquaculture expansion in Argyll, and if so, were MOTA staff and council seeking to invest? Regardless, with email addresses being redacted and content being redacted from this email, there appears to be something to hide. As always, there is significant information to show Dion's was allowed to pick the location they wanted, and this was accommodated by municipal staff and councillors. In addition to the perception of conflict we have around pecuniary interests and return on investment, CAO Muse continued to engage with the Dions to ensure that outcomes were favorable. This included controlling any public engagement. We know now that public engagement was advertently minimized and discouraged, and this was prompted by the industry. This was further extended through the CAO staff and some councillors. And many emails continue to show that Dion's prompted these outcomes at every turn. The municipality failed to balance the needs of aquaculture expansion with the needs of Argyll residents, fostering a two-way collusive dynamic with this industry. Based on the ability for this industry to control outcomes to their desire, it suggests that some councillors or staff could possibly have incentives or investments in these businesses. Based on the strong perceptions, further investigation is certainly warranted. In comparison to the overwhelming bias shown Dion's Oyster Company, other farmers and applicants were kept partially or fully in the dark, providing additional advantages to Dion's. Dion's had full insight into where the ADA locations were to be placed 2 years in advance of the public. Many farmers with competitive interests were not granted the same timely insight. When a public official has or may have a financial stake in a regulated industry, the only defensible options are full disclosure, complete separation from related decisions, or elimination of the financial interest. Anything less risks both real conflict and loss of public trust, and that's what we have here. Thank you.